You've heard the story Jack and the Beanstalk. This book is called Kate and the Beanstalk. The author of this book is Mary Pope Osborne. As I read the story, think about how it is the same or different than Jack and the Beanstalk. Long ago, a girl named Kate lived with her mother in a small cottage. One day after a hard winter, Kate's mother was sad. "We are sure to be dying from hunger," said her mother, "unless we can sell our only cow for money for food." Kate, who loved to help people, said, "Don't worry, Mother," and she gave her mother a hug. "I'll take care of everything." And she set out for the market with their cow. So is that the same as Jack and the Beanstalk when the family was poor and they had to sell their cow? Continue listening. On the way, Kate met a beggar. A beggar is a poor person who is always asking for things. And he was holding a small sack, which is a bag. "Magic beans," said the beggar in a creaky voice. "How extraordinary," said Kate when she saw them, for brown beans shone like dark gold. "I don't think I can live without them." "They can be yours if you give me your cow," said the beggar. Without another thought, Kate traded her cow for the beans and rushed home to give them to her mother. But to Kate's surprise, her mother was horrified. "Our only hope is now gone," she cried. "Now we will surely starve." And she tossed the beans out the window. Kate was hungry and sad, and she went to bed. During the night, Kate couldn't sleep. She got up and crept into the garden. She was so surprised to see in the darkest corner a giant beanstalk rose into the sky. It rose higher and higher and higher still, till it disappeared behind the clouds. "Does it never end?" whispered Kate. Without waiting for morning, Kate began climbing the beanstalk. She climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed, up and up and up. When Kate reached the top, light was creeping into the gray sky. Through a misty haze, she saw the most beautiful sight. Above the clouds was a countryside, and with fine woods and a crystal stream and a rolling sheep meadow and a mighty castle. As Kate stared in wonder, an old lady hobbled out of the woods. "Hello," said Kate. "Is that castle your home?" she asked the little lady. "No, my dear," said the lady. "It once belonged to a knight and his beautiful wife. They had a small little baby girl and many treasures. But one day a mean giant came to take all of their things away. He took the castle and all of their treasures." "Oh, how awful," said Kate. Fortunately, the knight's wife and the baby girl were visiting in the valley. Afraid to return home, the woman stayed below to raise her child by herself because the giant had hurt the father. Now they are very poor and they are close to starving." "That's so sad," said Kate. "Sadder than you know, my dear," said the old woman. She looked deep into Kate's eyes. "Perhaps you're the one to make things right from what horrible things had happened." "Me?" said Kate. "Are you afraid?" said the old woman. "I don't think so. I don't get afraid of anything if I'm doing something that's right. How can I help?" said Kate. "The knight had 3 precious treasures: a hen that lays golden eggs, a bag filled with gold coins, and the most beautiful harp in the world," said the old woman. "If you find these 3 things and return them to the knight's widow, then she and her child will not be starving hungry any more." Kate took a deep breath. "I'll try my best," she said. So Kate said goodbye to the old woman, and she went across the meadow, and she went to the castle. As she went to the castle, a giantess lunged into the morning light. A giantess is the lady giant. "Help me," said the huge woman. "My husband makes me cook from morning until night. Whenever I hire servants to help me, he eats them all up." "I'll be your servant," said Kate, "but you must hide me from the giant." Kate helped the giantess make breakfast until the sun came up. When she heard the giant coming down the hall, she trembled with fear. His footsteps sounded like booms of a cannon. "Hide," whispered the giantess, and she pushed Kate into a closet to hide her. Peeking through the keyhole of the door, Kate watched and listened. "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an English woman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'm going to grind her bones to make some bread." "Oh, don't be silly," said the giantess. "You only smell the wagon load of bacon I fried for your breakfast." "Oh," said the giant. When the giant finished eating, he said, "Bring me the knight's hen." The giantess brought only a small brown hen. "Lay," ordered the giant, and the little hen laid a golden egg. "Ha, ha, ha," roared the giant. "I love my little stolen hen." And he put down his head and he fell asleep, snoring as loudly as thunder. Ever so quietly, Kate crept out of the closet. She grabbed the hen and rushed out of the castle. She ran across the sheep meadow to the beanstalk. Down and down and down she climbed and climbed and climbed until she landed kerplop in the garden. Kate sighed with relief. "It's better if Mother doesn't know the danger I've been in," she whispered to the hen. "You stay here in this garden until I can return to you to the poor knight's widow." Kate hid the hen behind the bush, and she went into her house. Kate knew she had to disguise herself to return to the castle so the giantess wouldn't know that she had taken anything away. That night she dressed with a wig and a beard and crept up the moonlight garden and climbed the beanstalk again. So you can see now Kate is wearing a disguise. Is that the same as the stories that we heard? Nope. Kate climbed and climbed and climbed, and up and up and up she went up the beanstalk. In the light before dawn, Kate crossed the sheep meadow and knocked on the castle door. When the giantess came out, she roared, "Help me, help me! I need a servant. The last one took our hen and ran away." Does the giantess realize that she's talking to Kate, or does she think it's somebody else? All happened as before. Kate helped the giantess make breakfast until the sun came up. When they heard the giant's booming footsteps and bellowing voice, the giantess hid Kate into the closet. "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an English woman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'm going to grind her bones to make my bread." "Oh, calm down," said the giantess. "You only smell the mountain of hashed potatoes I've made for you for breakfast." "Oh," said the giant. And before the giant finished eating, he said, "Bring me the knight's money bag." The giantess brought out a bag filled with gold coins, and the giant greedily counted them. "Ha, ha, ha," he roared. "I love my little stolen coins." Soon the giant's head began to nod to go to sleep. Kate watched him fall asleep. Then she crept out and grabbed the money sack and ran out of the castle and down the beanstalk. She climbed down, down, down until she landed kerplop in the garden. "Goodness," said Kate, "what a day. I have to hide these coins until I can return them to the poor widow again." So was Kate taking the things for herself and her mother, or was she trying to do some good? So is that the same or different than Jack and the Beanstalk? You think about it. Kate hid the money bag with the hen and then slipped back inside her house. That night, Kate disguised herself again and again started up the beanstalk. She put on a hat and a cape, and up she went. She ran across the meadow and knocked on the door. When the giantess came out, she grabbed Kate and said, "Help me, I need a servant. The last one stole our money bag and ran away." Again, all happened as before. Kate helped the giantess make breakfast. Soon the giant's footsteps boomed down the hall, and the giantess hid Kate in the closet. "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an English woman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'm going to grind her bones to make my bread." "You old fool," said the giantess. "You only smell the sea of fish soup that I made for your breakfast." "Oh," said the giant. When the giant finished eating his soup, he cried, "Bring me the night's singing harp." And here's the harp. The giantess brought out the most magnificent harp, the only one of its kind in the world. The harp sparkled with diamonds and rubies and other gemstones, and its strings were made out of gold. "Sing!" yelled the giant. The harp began to sing a sad song. It sang of the past, of living with the knight, his wife, and his child, and of the beautiful days and of the stormy nights, starry nights. The harp's lovely song nearly made Kate start crying because it was so sad. When the giant fell asleep, she crept out from behind the door, took the harp, and ran away with it. But the harp was so frightened, it sang a high note. "Help me, help me, help me," said the harp. "Quiet," said Kate. "I'm going to return you to the knight's poor widow." But the giant had already been awoken, and he jumped up, and with a shout, he ran after Kate. So was that the same as in the other story, where the harp called out and woke up the giant? Let's see what happens now. Kate flew like the wind across the sheep's meadow. She grabbed the beanstalk and started down with the harp, the giant fast on her heels. Down, down, down went Kate. She climbed and climbed and climbed, and the giant climbed and climbed and climbed right after her. As soon as Kate's feet touched the ground, she shouted, "Mother, quick, bring me the axe, hurry!" Kate's mother ran out with the axe, and Kate grabbed it. "Stand back, Mother," Kate cried. With one mighty blow, Kate chopped the beanstalk in two. Down and down it fell through the sky, and down fell the giant, whoop, right down out of the garden, and he broke his neck. The ground shook like an earthquake. Kate's mother took one look, and she cried out, "Oh, that's the giant that hurt your father." "My father?" said Kate. Before her mother could answer, a fairy approached with a special wagon called a chariot, right here, and it was pulled with two peacocks. "Greetings, brave Kate," she said. "As queen of the fairies, I have long wanted to help the good knight's family, but first I needed to know if their daughter was worthy of these gifts. So I disguised myself as both the beggar that sold the magic beans and as the old lady who sent you on the trip to your father's castle." "That was my father's castle?" Kate looked at her mother, who shook her head yes. "I never spoke about your father after he was hurt," Kate's mother said. "He would be so proud of you now." Kate hugged her mother. They climbed into the chariot and rose through the clouds to the castle that was once again theirs. Kate asked the giantess to stay on as their cook. "Thank you for your kindness," said the giantess. "Would you like a biscuit with jam?" "Indeed," said Kate and her mother, and the giantess served them a biscuit that was as big as a cow. And they lived happily ever after in the castle. So you think about how this book was a little bit the same and it was a little bit different than the other books of Jack and the Beanstalk. Let's talk about it.